Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 9 of Enlightened Normal Dudes. I'm Sean, and this is
Geronimo Jackson.
Geronimo Jackson. It's a pleasure to have you on tonight, Geronimo.
Thank you.
I know we missed last week. It was Thanksgiving, so we had to take a little snoozer.
Yeah, did you have a good time with your neighbors?
Yeah, the neighbors were fun.
That's what's up, man. Holidays, it's important to be with people that you care about. And
Absolutely. No, it was a good time. I actually got a little excited. Made a turkey 2 days early and had pre-Thanksgiving on Tuesday last week.
that's actually when we had our Thanksgiving.
Well, it was a pre-Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. You got to have the actual Thanksgiving as well.
Yes,
The
exactly.
rich get richer.
Yep, exactly. I'm not working on Thanksgiving. You out of your mind?
I know. My supervisor really screwed me.
Yeah.
You work the
He's
day before, the day of, the day after.
you picked that
Cratering
life.
towards divorce.
You yeah, okay.
No, it's all good, man.
Other than that, how's your week going so far?
It's going great. It's going great. I've actually really enjoyed being back to work. It's been like a little over a month now. It's cool just to be back doing the thing, but also just interacting with everybody. And yeah, it's really cool. I've had a
Big
lot of
things
great,
on the horizon.
yeah, life is good. Life is good.
Sending positive vibes out.
Yeah,
Slow
life is
down,
really, really
karma.
good. Calm down, karma.
Calm down, karma.
Man, I
You
wish I had
slow it
screeching
down.
brakes, There you go. But yeah, karma needs to chill out. Karma's being a
Karma
little
needs to
crazy.
chill. Just slow
And
it down.
hey, a new addition to the swag. So I'd like to give a shout out here. My buddy at Devoted Brand, I'll put a link in our description, but he's actually a tattoo artist down here in Palm Coast, and he's phenomenal. His name is Michael Biller. You can look at his work online, but he also owns a giant printer for doing all different sorts of stuff. But yeah, he was kind enough to do these sweatshirts for us and some t-shirts, and we're going to get some more stuff going too. But he's just an awesome dude. If you needed a tattoo, he's a phenomenal artist. If you need shirts or whatever other stuff printed, again, he's phenomenal. Reach out to him. We'll put links to his stuff in the description.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I really appreciate the swag we got going right now.
Yes, it's dope. It pops.
Exactly. Pop Peruni.
Mm-hmm.
When you had your Thanksgiving, what kind of food you eating? Some deep fried turkey?
It wasn't deep fried, it's just traditional. But T was a phenomenal cook, so she cooked that up. She made green bean casserole. The one of the best things, man. It's become like just a tradition for us. She makes this appetizer. It's like this brie, and we just have it with like wheat thins. But she's got like craisins with it and walnuts and stuff. It's really, really good.
That
So we
sounds
had that.
horrible. Don't eat it.
Oh my God, it was so good. And yeah, so we
Sounds
had
real good.
that. She made like some homemade macaroni and cheese. I think that covers the bases. But yeah, but it was funny because I was like, T, you don't, obviously we use GLP-1s. My wife and I both lost a whole bunch of weight, and they limit how much you can eat in a particular sitting. And I was like, T, don't overdo it. We can barely eat. And we both legit had like a half a plate. We were like, oh my God, we're so full. And we went and laid on the couch, and like the food was barely touched. It was pretty comical.
Well, you had leftovers for a couple days.
We did. But it's funny because like she just can't help herself, man. She's an Italian. She grew up that way, and like the table's got to be covered in food, even if you can't eat it.
How about any holiday shopping during the Friday festivities?
We got some fun lighting, like some fun smart lights. We got a couple of fun smart lights for the front living room, which is like the plant room where T reads. It's her
What
Zen
kind of
room.
plants you growing?
We got like a lot of pothos.
Do I need to involve
The
FDLE?
DEA.
DEA? Okay. Just
Yeah.
I would have to say that my Thanksgiving was great. You got to spend it with some family. Enjoy the day out on next to the river. Just enjoying the
Yeah, I
nice
caught some
fresh air.
pictures there. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
It was really
super
beautiful.
nice. Ended up spending the rest of the day with the neighbors and pretty actually just kind of low key and chill all day long, but just nice and relaxing.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else special? Any dishes stand out that you had, or?
Not really. The dishes, not so much, but I did put my phone on Do Not Disturb and I kind of vegged out and watched some Stranger Things. Yeah, let's get into that.
Dude. So,
Season 5.
yeah, this is a spoiler section. So if you have not watched Stranger Things yet and you care to not have it spoiled, do not listen.
Yeah, fast forward at least 15 minutes.
Yeah, but oh my God. You know what's really great is when a show actually delivers, particularly when you know it's going to be a final season. And through 4 episodes, man, are they delivering.
I was like, I just can't stop watching. I was gonna save the episodes. I was just like, nope, I'm gonna see this thing through. Who would have ever guessed?
It's crazy. And I mean, like obviously we're talking about Will becoming a basic superhero, like 11, but just crazy, man. But like, and it's cool too, particularly for his character arc, because the poor kid has just been like crapped on the entire time. And like now he finally is like in a power role.
Let
Cool to
out.
see.
Yeah, see
But
how it
dude,
goes.
I have literally rewatched that episode probably 2 or 3 times. And there's even been a few times I've just fast forwarded to the end and just been like, Jesus, they did a good job. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
they didn't, but you don't realize what's going on until like that final like last 5 minutes, and then it's like everything just finally
Clicks, yeah.
clicks. It's like, okay, well, I just tied everything together for
But
the
like,
entire.
and just like the way that they did it, like, and this is a cool thing about Stranger Things, because like, especially for like people born in the 80s, right? Like the music is like a huge callback. And like, they've always been phenomenal with their stuff. But like that particular moment with the music, just like the actual way that they did it, where like, the kid's about to get swiped and it goes quiet. And then all of a sudden it cuts to this thing just being held in the air and like shaking. And then he looks behind him and sees that it's him doing it. And you're just like, I get chills just talking about it. It was done phenomenally.
But yeah, it was good. It was.
Dude.
I can't wait until Christmas Day.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Have
While you
you
guys are unwrapping presents, don't bother me.
100%, dude? Like I imagine they made it like available for release, I think at like 8 or 9 p.m. So it's probably going to be like the same type of thing. In
I'm
the good old
looking
days.
at Christmas Day, 5 p.m.
Oh,
Pacific
that's
time.
dope. Pacific,
Pacific time,
8 p.m. Yeah.
8
It
p.m.
would have been dope if they did it earlier because, like, on Christmas, people, they'd wake up, do the presents thing, and
And then the finale is 2 hours on New Year's Eve.
yeah, yeah,
And then they're going to be selling tickets for that one.
that's
They're,
wild.
they're releasing it in theaters.
That's cool. That's
That would
cool.
actually be pretty cool to go see.
Honestly, it's just as good as a movie. It's phenomenal.
You
Like,
know
it
what?
really is done so well.
Forget New Year's Eve partying.
Yeah,
I'm buying a projector and we're
that's what's
having
up,
a Stranger Things finale party.
dude. It's so good. Have you read any of like, well, for one, before even getting reading into theories, have you seen like all of how everything attaches? Like, so you know that what Will drew is like an Einstein-Rosen bridge, like a
Yeah,
wormhole.
it was the wormhole.
Yeah, and so then it's got the
And it
kids
needed
that are apparently
the
powering.
kids to power the wormhole.
Yeah, yeah. But then, like, did you notice that the Mind Flayer is also a projection of a wormhole?
I did notice that.
Here, let me see if I can find
How about the
something.
spinoff that they're talking about?
I know with
The
Nancy.
Nancy Wheeler
Yeah,
spinoff.
yeah. See if they put them side by side at all. Well, I think you can see it anyways. Of course, it's on X. What isn't on X?
Everything's on X. I get all my data from there because everything there is vetted.
Oh, you're a funny guy. All right, I'm gonna share my screen real quick.
You should share your screen.
So you can see that, right? So you know how
Yeah.
the Mind Flayer, right? It has that spiked head, and then the
Yeah.
legs come out.
Oh, I see it now.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So there's like all these things. Then somebody else brought up what's really interesting, and I don't know if this is gonna play. Here, I'll leave that. But 11 and now 8, right? Because 8's back. And then 1, 11, 8, and 1 add up to 20. And you may not know this, but in Dungeons and Dragons, A 20 is a perfect roll.
I did not know that because I have never played Dungeons and Dragons
Because
before.
you're not cool, bro.
You played Dungeons and Dragons before? I mean, I can't say it fast. I'm sorry.
We code yellow. Code yellow.
Eh.
But
You can't teach a new dog old tricks.
a nude dog.
An old dog new tricks?
But yeah, it's so cool. Like they did such a good job, and I have a feeling that a lot of these little nuances that people are picking up on probably will actually come to pass because they seem to have that attention to detail.
Every time I watch a reel, it is another, like,
Oh yeah.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, yeah. And then there is speculation. So do you know the significance of the cave?
Yes.
Okay.
That
So yeah, so like there is speculation that Mr. Whatsit is actually see, I don't there's speculation that Mr. Whatsit could be a good version of Henry Creel, like a split in his psyche. And it brought the little girl back to the house to protect her, and that there's that dichotomy existing within him. So I don't know how legit that is, but it would be interesting because like the if you accept the proposition that Henry was infected in the upside down and that's what made him evil, then that means he could possibly become not evil. And so the question is, like, at the end of this, does it flip the other way and like 11, 8, and him are fighting, the upside down or the mind flayer or whatever? No, you don't think so?
I don't see that. I think he was trying to get all the kids to the house to get them together so he could get them into the hive.
Yeah, well, and I guess that's the thing. Did it ever show Holly Wheeler like hooked up to one of the things?
It did not.
But I mean, I guess you would assume that that's the thing
You
that
would
she's
assume
under
that
and she's dreaming.
she was in his mind.
Well, I guess she has to be, right, because she met Max there, so she has to be.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting little
The
side
other
thing.
thing is that the Upside Down's stuck in 1983. Like everything in the Upside Down is actually in 1983.
As we all should be.
Yeah, well, like fine wine.
Yeah, exactly like fine wine.
Big hair, don't care.
Big hair don't care.
I'm excited for Christmas Day for multiple reasons.
Go on.
Well, I mean, mainly because of Stranger Things
Right. And then family,
and family.
friends, neighbors.
Mainly Stranger Things.
Okay.
Until that Stranger Things is over with, and then we'll worry about the other things.
That's gonna suck. It really is. I just hope they nail it. But I mean, it looks like they're going to because this has been phenomenal so far. But like Game of Thrones still just leaves me sad. Did you ever watch Game of Thrones?
Nah.
Dude, the last season just, what a letdown.
Breaking Bad was my
Breaking
show.
Bad was great. Breaking
I
Bad was
still
really
need to
great.
watch El Camino.
It was good. But dude, I mean, just regular Breaking Bad is what a good show. I didn't watch that show for the longest time. And then like when I was out for like carpal tunnel surgery, I went down that rabbit hole and I just binged it like 8 to 10 episodes a day.
Sure.
But it's so good. That's one of like the best acting jobs ever. What's his face there? Bryan Cranston. Just, whew. But I digress.
No, Bryan Cranston's best acting job was Why Him.
That was really funny. Yeah. That's that was really funny. Man. All right, you and the balloon.
What balloon?
So do we even have an outline? What are we
Yeah,
even talking about?
we were on Stranger Things, and then we were gonna. It looks like you were gonna explain wormholes and string theory to us.
Wormholes and string theory.
You didn't learn that from
No, I mean,
Stranger Things?
so conceptually, a wormhole, it depends on how you believe the universe is lined up. But if you accept the proposition that like the universe is an expansive plane that goes outward, if you were able to fold it, then 2 points that are very far away from one another could actually end up being close if you can pop through there, which would be what we call a wormhole. Even though we don't completely understand how they work, we're pretty sure they exist,
Yeah.
but we don't know whether they can just get you from one point to another that's far away, or could they even go back in time, forward in time?
Well, that's kind of the premise of the Stranger Things theory was
That
that
is kind
they're
of the premise of the Stranger Things theory.
They're jumping back and forth through wormholes.
Well, did you read any of the stuff too? Like the one other part that I forgot to bring up was, so Max was in a memory that included most of the kids' parents in high school.
Yes, I remember that. I saw
Did you
that,
read
and
any of the stuff about that?
I didn't read anything. I was watching reels on it though.
Okay. Because there is speculate some of the speculation is that Henry went to school with some of them and was like bullied. That's the low hanging fruit. But there's also speculation that Henry's sister really didn't die and she could actually be Miss Wheeler.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, because like people were comparing how Henry's sister looked. If you go back, I think she had like pigtails and stuff and was dressed like similarly to Holly Wheeler. So they're drawing some symmetry between that. But yeah, there's all different sorts of stuff.
Wow. Back to wormholes though. You would need an incredible amount of power to create a wormhole. You literally would be bending space time and folding it in on itself.
Yeah, and I think that's why, as we know them, and that again, that's limited, but as we know them, they're really black holes, which are naturally occurring things.
Correct.
Maybe someday, human beings or whatever species can get into that. But like you said, I mean, the amount of power, I mean, a black hole is like this all consuming thing that in its most powerful state can even bend light into it and sucks light right into it.
What I was having a hard time wrapping my head around though, and has something to do with wormholes, is time in general.
I thought you were going to do a mom joke there.
Now, as time in general is, everything that has happened, everything that will happen is all happening simultaneously because there is no such thing as time. The only thing that
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because like they say that the only thing that makes time exist is your perception of it. So the
exactly
idea that
is
we perceive this thing, and so like you get into like what does that mean? Like we see things decay or go from young to old, or whatever. Like we interpret this thing, but is it really there, or is it only there because we interpret it?
exactly.
It's deep stuff,
And
man.
and also what's really crazy as you approach, well, if you could get to the speed of light, there is no such thing as time.
Right.
So if you could travel at the speed of light, you would not age because there is no such thing as time at the speed of light,
Allegedly.
which allegedly, well, that's Einstein theorized that,
Sure.
which is
But
really
what does he
crazy to
know?
me.
It is crazy. I mean, all this stuff. Like, I think this is another thing. Like, again, another random offshoot of this. Like, when people have conversations about the universe and like whether there's aliens and like, they're like, well, we look out and out into the universe and we don't really see anything. Like, people don't even realize that you're seeing things in the past because light travels at a finite speed. That's what we call a light year. So if something is 1 light year away and you're observing it from Earth, you're seeing it 1 year in the past because the light from bouncing off of it coming to you took a year to get to you. And so, like, we're observing things that are hundreds of thousands, millions of miles away. And so, for every light year away they are, we're observing them that far in the past, which is really crazy. So
Exactly.
like all of
Hundreds
these.
of thousands of years that light took to get
Yeah.
to us.
And that's like even like the closer things, like you can get way beyond that. And so that's what I don't think people realize. Like when we're looking out into the universe and trying to find if there's life out there, I mean, you would probably accept the proposition that there has to be life out there, right?
I mean, just based on statistics and,
Right.
well, and if you also believe that multiple, what is it? If there are any any outcomes or any probabilities,
Hmm.
then that is one of the probabilities that has to be some.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has
Even,
to.
I mean, the question is like how much, not if, you know?
Yeah.
And so like, we know that there's like this zone of being around a star and being so far away from it. I forget they call it like the green zone, blue zone. I don't remember what
Well,
zone they
the
call it.
probability of life is like 1 in 100 trillion,
Hmm.
just life in general.
Sure.
but there's an infinite amount of galaxies and an infinite
Yeah.
amount of, so
Yeah,
you
like
don't
it's asinine just what we are aware of, and we have
exactly.
no idea how far it goes.
And we also don't know how our, like, what's the smallest unit of matter now? I mean, what's the smallest building block of
I mean,
matter?
I think at this point it's like quarks and leptons, like
Yeah, well,
subunits
that's
of
what they
atomic
know,
particles.
but I mean,
Right,
is it smaller than that? That's what they
right.
can see, what
And
they
then
can
like,
measure.
like is an atom even like its own little planetary system, because it resembles it.
What's the biggest? I mean,
Maybe we're
where
an
do we
atom in something else.
where do we fit in that? Maybe we're microscopic relative to something super
Absolutely.
massive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's really crazy, but I mean, these are such fun conversations to have. But that to me is always like a basic thing that I think most people don't understand. That I think if they come across that and like think about it, I think it's really enlightening. Like, enlightening.
Yeah, we're very enlightened.
Yeah. But just the idea that like we're in the universe and we have this idea of where life can exist in relation to a star. And we're aware of a whole bunch of galaxies out there that have, things that fall into that range. But we're looking at these things so far in the past. For all we know, they could be super societies now that are, going around their system and hopping from planet to planet. But
Do
we
you know
would
what the
never know.
paradox is?
Not off the top of my head. Please enlighten
So
me.
it's the contradiction between the high probability of extraterrestrial civilizations existing and the lack of evidence or contact with them. Basically, it says that either they're out there
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to make contact with us,
Mm-hmm.
or they've destroyed themselves already, is basically
Well,
what
I
the
mean, you
Fermi
have to ask
pair.
yourself the question. I mean, think about the level of technology that we're talking about that would allow you one of two things. One, even to be able to communicate with somebody or something that is hundreds of thousands of light years away. I mean, so how long does it take a signal, to go that far? And then if you want to jump up a notch and say interplanetary travel, okay, well now you have to be able to travel at multiple levels of light speed in order to not just be dying off en route to get somewhere.
Well, that's where the wormholes come into
Well,
play.
exactly. So like the level, and so to your point, does a civilization just die off before it ever even has that ability? Does the star that it orbits eventually go out or go supernova and that planet ceases to exist, or they blow themselves up, or whatever number of things could lead to the end of a civilization? Yeah.
You know what the Van Allen belt is, though, correct?
Van Halen?
Van Allen,
Bing! No, what?
the radiation belt outside of our magnetic field.
I did not know that.
So the problem with space travel that we're limited to is we would be radiated and probably would not survive long
Yeah.
periods of time in outer space.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's like so many different levels to it, like it's an inhospitable place. And like this goes back to
And then
simulation.
if you believe the flat Earth theories, we live on
Yeah,
flat Earth, and
I'm a
there's
big
a.
flat earther, man.
I know you were. That's what I'm saying.
It's obvious, isn't
It
it?
is simulation theory, where it's just like Grand Theft Auto, where once you reach the edge of the map, it drops you back in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, it is kind of crazy when you talk about these ideas of the universe and how spread out everything is. And then all the inhospitable conditions that exist. For one, it's just a vacuum. So, I mean, there's no pressure, there's no air, there's no nothing. But then you're dealing with radiation, and then you're dealing with these just obscenely long distances, like crazy, like just it's it's wild. Like if you were going to make a simulation, that's exactly how you would do it.
Exactly.
So,
I agree.
food for thought.
But, you know, is there other life out there? I mean, you would have to speculate, probably. Are they interested in what we're doing if they're advanced enough to come here? I don't know. Not unless they were.
Well, this is the other like sticking point. When people think I'm sorry, but the Area 51 stuff and people getting all hyped about that. So we've been talking about these concepts. Like we're talking about wormholes and the kind of technology you would need in order to like harness something like that and actually utilize it for travel and survive, a black hole in order to get to the other side. I mean, just crazy levels of technology that we can't even fathom. But then they get here and they crash. Okay.
It's our radio signals that make them crash, but
Sure, sure. So again, like when you parse this out, it's like, okay, yeah, right. They just crash. They get here and they're like, oh man, space, no problem. But that Earth atmosphere, watch, it'll get you.
you don't know.
I mean, no, I don't. But I mean,
Maybe it was that time of year. Maybe they were out drinking and they got a little bit too lit.
maybe, yeah.
They're like,
But it
oh,
is kind of
remember?
funny when you think about it in that way. It's like,
I've always thought that too.
yeah, like I think aliens exist, but if they can make it here, the type of technology that it would require to get from wherever they're coming from to here, there's no way they just crash land.
That's a very valid point.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
It's a very valid.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love like all alien lore and X-Files and everything. It's a really fun concept to think about, but when you kind of parse it out, it doesn't really jive.
No, I agree.
I mean, even we're pretty good at not crashing in our atmosphere.
Fair,
Yeah,
fairly good.
fairly good. Yeah, I mean, you know,
Fairly
They
good.
they say it's the safest form of travel.
Not actually when you break it down per mile, I think. Mile traveled.
Well, I actually like the breakdown of how many people actually survive the crashes.
That's where I'm at too.
Yeah, like a lot of people survive car crashes.
Typically.
Very few survive aeronautical accidents.
Always go by boat.
Safer.
Safer.
But that is my nightmare, dude, being stranded at sea or something.
Nah. I love cruises. Cruises are great.
No, no, no. I would love a cruise, but like the idea of like actually being in the water stranded and like just whatever is on. Oh my, I would die of a heart attack just from imagining things.
If we were ever stranded offshore, I would definitely mess with you.
Good. Good, dude. I used to have like the most irrational fear. I remember my dad had a pool in the backyard and he had like an acre.
How do we get on this subject?
I don't know, but whatever, man, just roll with it. But he had this pool and it was like in the backyard. He had like it was a barn, but really used it more as a garage. And behind that, he had a above ground pool. And I had the most irrational fear that there was like monsters in it if I couldn't see to the bottom. If it was dark out and I couldn't see to the bottom, totally paranoid. It's like the most irrational thing ever. But yeah, I don't know why. Water scares me, bro.
Well, I think that's a common fear, deep water for everybody.
Well, good. I don't feel like such a pansy now. Thank you.
I used to I used to think that in the pool that the sharks were going to get me too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man. But when it's dark, like if I can't see, that bugs me out.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I know you had mentioned that you wanted to talk about serendipity and synchronicity.
Well, yeah, especially going into the new year, you know?
And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not familiar with either one of those subject matters. Well, I mean,
Really?
I a little bit, but I'm
Okay.
not really that familiar with either one of them. So I'm going to let you lead this one.
You've never seen the movie Serendipity?
I can't say that I have.
Oh my God, you need to watch it with John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale. Phenomenal movie.
No, I haven't seen
But
that.
no, so serendipity, without actually looking at a definition, is the idea that events line up to be like have like a magical outcome. You know, like you meet the person of your dreams, or things fall in line, and so you would describe that as being very serendipitous, that things just kind of work out in a favorable outcome. So to give
Okay.
you an example, when we were looking at moving to Florida, before I think I even got the job in Northeast Florida, we were looking in Palm Coast where we live now. And so my wife and I would be on Zillow and we'd be looking at stuff. And it was funny because I was actually at work one day and I had texted her, "Hey, I found this cool little house. It's got a pool. It's really cheap right now, and it'd be perfect." And she's like, yeah, I found one too. And go figure, I get home and it's the same house. It's the house that we currently live in. It's not anything incredibly special. It's our little cottage that we built into, our home. But it's just funny because not only did that happen, but then we came down here, and I think I had to come down like a month or two before just to do some pre-employment stuff. And my wife came down with me, and I actually drove her past this house. And she really liked it. So we're like, let's just contact him. Let's just, we'll go look at it just for giggles. And we went and looked at it. And of course, we're young. We've never bought a house or anything. So the whole thing just seemed really scary, and we were already moving to a whole new place, and it was like it's probably a little bit too much to bite off to like be going to a place, not even know if we're gonna like it, and then we bought a house and now we're stuck, whatever. And it was funny because the guy that had bought it was actually flipping it. I think he was actually like a pretty wealthy dude who I think he was a pilot, but he had made a whole bunch of money, and so he was buying up a lot of properties and flipping them and stuff. And he's like, well, listen, if you guys want to rent it, I'll let you do that. And then if you decide that you like it here and whatever, you can buy it. And we were like, that seems kind of weird. So we just stayed away from it. Right. And so we got down here, and about 2 months in, we're like, dude, we love it here. My wife immediately loved it. I loved where I worked. I loved the area. And we looked online, and the house was still available. And this is back, after the 2008 crisis. So homes were still, staying vacant for a while and whatnot. But we were just like, man, this is like serendipity. Like we found this house at like the same time, and then we came down, and we didn't feel like it was the right time to do it, and it's still here. And the guy was even willing to put like a new roof on. And so like it all just ended up being, and it's just funny. Like we look back on that time of when we both randomly found the same house at the same time, and all these events like led up to it, and like here we are living in this house, and we built a life in it. And it's crazy.
And you still put a new roof on it.
Ended up having to put a new roof. Florida, man, don't do shingle, for God's sake.
Hey,
When you get your opportunity, metal. Shingles just get
metal.
beat up down here. Metal or bust.
How much longer until you have to redo the screws on it?
Don't have to.
Oh, I forgot you did seamless, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's the way to
How
go.
about
So yes, another sidebar. If you do a metal roof, do seamless, because then the screws are actually covered. Otherwise, the screws kind of wiggle loose and you have to redo them every few years.
we're gonna do an episode on Corey's builder's knowledge?
Absolutely. Don't you have more builder's knowledge than me, though?
Yes, but I would like to see what you know.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Do it. We'll do like a quiz show
Do
type
a
of
quiz
vibe.
show,
See if you can catch me in any lies, or
or just laugh at you for
that's fine
spelling
too.
BS.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Well, no, that's an awesome story of serendipity.
Yeah. Do you have a good example of serendipity in your life?
No, actually, I don't.
Really?
The universe just keeps screwing me.
Come on.
Yep.
All right.
Leaving
Okay. All right. I see. I see you.
2026 is a new beginning.
I see you. All right. Maybe we'll talk about some serendipitous events in your life once we get into the new year.
Once we get into the new year, we can start discussing Shawnee's serendipity.
Okay. But
How
yeah,
about
so
that?
so and synchronicity kind of runs along. Oh, synchronicity is a little different in that, and I think you've heard me say this when you were going through your tough time. One of my phrases that I latched onto through my tough time over the last year and a half, going through my back surgeries, was just dance with the universe. You know, and so synchronicity is kind of looking for that. Instead of falling into the trap of any opposition that you run up against on a daily basis, whether it be small or large, just trying to find the value in overcoming the little things in your life and being thankful for the things that go easy or that are beautiful in your life. But just dancing with the universe. Don't fight things. Don't get caught up in negativity. Look for the collateral beauty in everything, and kind of dance with the universe. Whatever she's bringing at you, just be
Eh,
appreciative of what the journey will be.
Well, it took me a few weeks It took me a few weeks to realize it, but just lean into it and go with the flow.
Right. But I mean, and like, you're a perfect example, and what you went through is a perfect example of there was a lot of, you know, trials and tribulations that you had to go through. And so what you did was by leaning into a lot of positive habits and positive mindsets, you recognized the beauty in the growth that could be achieved by enriching yourself along that journey and appreciating what could be learned and taken forward from it.
This is definitely a karmic cycle for me
Yeah, yeah.
because if I didn't go through what I had to go through, I would never be where I am, which is actually actually harder than anything, is because I now know that I had to go through what I went through to be where I am. And I know it sounds crazy, but
But it doesn't though. But I think, I mean, how important of a message is that, right? Like the idea that you can reflect on really negative experiences that really brought you down to some tough places, and that there is a point of perspective later on, if you go about it the right way, where you genuinely appreciate it. Like you are thankful for the struggle and the thing that you had to overcome because of the growth you were able to achieve and the perspective you were able to gain going forward.
no, I don't want to sound like this, but it was just like the phoenix, the phoenix burns and then renews.
But that's good. But you see, that's exactly what synchronicity or like dancing with the universe is it's just a matter of perspective, right? Because
Exactly.
you can fall into the narrative of, oh, the universe just keeps kicking me in the balls and F my life and nothing ever works out, and that's all just a narrative, you
It's
know,
just a narrative in your head. I agree.
right? And but so like when you put a different spin on it and you say, I rose even stronger from the ashes of this really negative experience, and you look at it that way and you're constantly putting it in a positive light of, look at everything I learned, look at my ability to take lessons that I learned from this relationship and what it didn't give me, and possibly cultivate better relationships in the future, just all the
Not just
positivity that
that,
can be garnered.
and it's also fostering self-love and self
Yeah,
commitment, finding myself again, also working on strengths, physically, mentally, spiritually, everything, every aspect of my life,
yeah.
not just, I have to come, I lost myself and I have to come first because if you don't come first,
So just
I
as a
can't even deal
follow
with, I can't even deal with you right now.
just as a follow-up
You're on a
question
5 minute timeout,
just as a follow-up question
5 minute timeout,
now, with all
starting
of
now.
this perspective, do you find that more often you do come first?
No, actually, no.
Anyways,
What are we talking about, by the way?
hey man, I'm just trying to have some fun.
I put myself first. How about that?
No, no.
I'm not going to lose myself again.
All joking aside, no, the message is beautiful. I'll let you continue, but I mean, come on, low-hanging fruit,
That
bro.
was low hanging and that was a low blow.
Both
Karma,
can be true at the
karma's,
same time. It's a matter of perspective.
yeah, it is. But I just can't lose myself again. You can put all your energy into somebody, but you just can't lose yourself. You have to
Yeah,
be you.
absolutely.
It was a real eye opener, and you don't realize like all the little things that make you happy that you sacrifice for somebody that just does not appreciate what you're doing, even the little things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and so that was a big takeaway from your experience, was that there's the idea of mutual investment, right? So like,
It's the investment part
the
of it.
idea that you expect to have a reciprocated investment. So based on the level of investment that you give to somebody, you would appreciate that level of investment back. That's a huge
Correct.
takeaway.
Yeah, exactly. You know, givers and takers.
Yeah. But to actually recognize that now and what that looks like.
You can't keep pouring into an empty cup, is basically the analogy I'll put out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, if a cup had a hole in it and like you just keep pouring and you get to like the end of
Eventually
a
your
whole pitcher and you're
yeah,
like,
eventually your cup's gonna run out too.
exactly, exactly. It's crazy.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter how much you pour, it's just never enough.
So what you were able to take away, again, that would be an idea of like a synchronicity, and like just dancing with the universe rather than falling into that negative mindset of the universe is just crapping on me, F my life, da 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 da. You take a deep breath and you realize I'm hurting and this is difficult, but rather than give in to negativity, I'm going to invest in myself positively. And you will come out of it and be able to not only have positive physical effects and manifestations, but really positive mental health, developments that come along with it and a positive perspective that you can take forward.
I will say that when you invest in yourself and you invest in positivity, I know that Corey can definitely vouch for this. The universe will repay every investment that you put out there into the universe tenfold. Like again, like I'm saying, I say it all the time. I'm like, all right, karma, slow down. You're being too good to me. You're scaring me.
Exactly. Like, how are you going to take this back away?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're giving me 10 times, you're gonna cut me down 10 times after this.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like how you gonna how's this gonna go?
But again, I think the beautiful thing is that as you move forward in life and we get older and we face more adversity, if you learn to appreciate what can be garnered from adversity, then the way you even perceive it changes. So when you're 20 and you have a bad breakup or something negative happened to you, the way that you perceive it as this earth shattering, life ending thing is dramatically different in your 40s if you've done things right, because just the way you shape and look at perspective is so different. And that is a huge part of life. If you want to be able to move through and grow and not lose your mind, you have to learn how to cultivate a positive perspective and appreciate adversity and poetically dance with the universe.
Exactly. I would say also to anyone out there, if you go through a breakup, if they want to leave, wish them the best and keep your mouth shut. It's the best thing you can do. Don't say a word. I'm sorry to hear that. Bye.
Yeah.
It's the best thing you can do.
Yeah. I mean, you want to be with somebody that wants to be with you,
If they don't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you. Why would you want to waste any more energy and put any more investment into anything? If it's easily fixable, that is a different story. But if there's some major issues and they're just like, I'm out,
yeah.
well,
Well,
I'm
I think that's
sorry.
another thing that you were able to pick up, right? Is maybe noticing some red flags in a relationship where, again, going forward, you're like, hey, now I can. I mean, there's so many different facets. Like you know more about what you need. You know more about maybe some red flags, especially as you've dove into a previous episode where we looked at attachment styles, and you kind of went down the rabbit hole on attachment styles and then what that looks like and how negative some of those attachment styles can be, and how they can really be an uphill battle, particularly if you're trying to cultivate a positive relationship with somebody.
Sure.
So you've just come out with this wealth of knowledge of not only about yourself but what you need.
Everything can't be one sided in a relationship either. Not saying that there wasn't feelings on both ends. I'm just
Sure.
saying that one side can't always be the one giving and one side can't be the one always taking.
Yeah.
Has to be a balance.
Like people have to trade and like be willing to let the other person come first sometimes,
Exactly. And never once did I ever feel like I was the one that was coming first.
which is strange.
It is strange. And that's not a sexual thing.
No, I would never even think of that.
I wouldn't think you would.
No, all joking aside, I know. And that's a powerful realization to have had, right? to reflect on it. Because I know that you had some awareness during your relationship, but when you're able to kind of do a quote unquote autopsy of it and look back, there's certainly a different vantage point looking back over it now, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
pretty much. Let's just say the old saying, if you treat them like dirt, they stick like mud, isn't a far analogy because the better you treat them, the less they, or the, I feel like the better you treat them, the less that they, or the more they expect from you.
Is this 1950 Sean coming through?
That's not what I'm
No,
saying.
I
This,
know, I know. I
not what
just
I'm
want you to
saying.
clean it up because I don't want it to be taken that way.
It's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, I feel like it's the more you give, the more that's expected, the more that's taken for granted. The nicer you are, the less appreciation you get.
So let me probe that a little bit. I don't think you can say that it's completely uniform, right? Because if you build things up in a proper way, and you're kind of along the way, um, making sure that as you go up levels of giving, that level of giving is reciprocated, so you kind of have a relationship that you build up with a better foundation, So it's not like a generalization you can make about, for instance, all relationships, all women, but certain relationships, negative relationships or whatever.
Sure.
Like you would probably say that, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not always the case. That you can have a relationship where,
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. You can have the reciprocal relationship, and I think that words of affirmation go a long ways. Just say thank you.
yeah, yeah.
That's it.
But
Um,
now you've
what
had.
guy,
Sorry, go ahead.
what guys want, at least for me, more than anything, is just to be appreciated. Say thank you. If I do something, say thank you. I don't need anything else. Just let me know that what I'm doing is something that you value. That's it. I mean, there's no secret.
Yeah, but I don't even know that that's like something that you could say to just guys. I think that's just a good positive
I think that's
thing for a
positive, but
relationship.
I mean, I don't know how the ladies out there feel, but that's how I know that I feel. I'm a guy,
Sure,
that's how I feel.
but I think
Just
we
say,
all want that. I think
yeah,
even women just appreciate the same thing, right? Like, not to say that all relationships are uniform and that all women wash the dishes, but I know that my wife in this house washes the dishes because I'm a punk about it. I don't like slimy things. Anyways, so she washes the dishes, but I let her know, like, hey, like, if she grabs my plate or something, I'm like, thank you, I appreciate you doing that. But we have gotten to a point in our marriage, in our relationship growing, where we realize, and we've had the same discussion that we're having right now, where there were times that we did feel taken for granted in things that we've done, or roles that we've occupied in our relationship, and we do go out of our way now to let the other person know, like, hey, thank you for doing that thing, like I appreciate that, like genuinely, and I don't take that for granted anymore.
no, exactly.
Yeah, it's huge.
I think just the little things. I mean,
Yeah, if somebody cooks, it could be
yeah,
either one, or just got dinner done or cleaned up something or
it doesn't
whatever.
have to be these grand gestures. It's
Yeah,
just even the little things. Hey, I
just saying thank you.
appreciate that you did that for me.
Sam.
I
Yeah.
mean, nothing crazy, but I think that's what I was having the hardest time with, and I could never put my finger on it. I always felt like I came last, not in that way, because don't make a joke about it.
Listen, I told you I got my
Yeah,
one joke.
I
I'm
never
letting you
felt
know.
like I was the first priority ever, and I never felt appreciated. And everything that I did was always expected. When it came to anything, going out to dinner, I was the one. If we were going on vacation, I was the one. Anytime, like I was expected to do it. It wasn't that it was. Maybe there was appreciation, it just wasn't expressed.
Right, but it's important that it is, right?
Exactly.
And then there's nothing crazy about that. Like that's a normal relationship. You don't know that you're appreciated unless somebody shows appreciation,
Felt like
the paradox.
yeah, exactly. It's just like felt like you drug around on a leash.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're coming with me.
But I think that's like, not that you never knew that, but now that you've had time to reflect on it and you know, went down the rabbit hole of attachment styles and analyzing your relationship, also thinking about what your needs are going forward and what you want a healthier relationship to look like, you know, now you're able to actually put your finger on these different things and realize, oh my God, that's so important. Like just the idea of words of affirmation, you know, and that goes both ways, you know, and so that's something that even you'll take forward into future relationships of just knowing, I want to make sure that a person that I'm with knows, man, I appreciate you did that thing, or I appreciate you, you know, doing this. Like those things matter. The smallest thing.
You're valued, even though I don't say it all the time,
Well,
but
and
I appreciate
sometimes,
what you do.
ironically, right? Like showing appreciation over a smaller thing or a quote unquote smaller thing is almost like a bigger deal. Just to say, like, hey, that little thing, I don't take that for granted. I appreciate you doing that.
You know, I look back at all the even little things. I'm talking like the little things that you probably do every day without even thinking about it that I did that were not never reciprocated. And I'm just like, how did I not see this? I was just too close to it. When you back up and look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, how did I
Well, yeah. And then, like, looking at it too, like, you realize how much resentment you harbored
exactly?
for not feeling appreciated.
But it was subconscious. It wasn't even conscious at that time.
I get it, but it's like now you see it that that was under the surface because you didn't feel appreciated, you know?
Exactly.
And then and again, it's not a judgment. Like it's normal that if you're not given any words of affirmation or ever shown appreciation, that you will not feel appreciated.
Was the reciprocation too of the small things, you
Yeah,
know? It wasn't just the take the words of affirmation out. It's like the small, meaningless tasks
sure.
that aren't reciprocated
Well, right.
that
Well,
you
all of
would,
it falls under like that
yeah,
affirmation
yeah,
category, you know? Like
exactly.
but yeah, to not ever feel the reciprocation and to feel like, hey, you know, like I appreciate you. It'd be nice to know like all these little things.
The little things like your voice is never heard. It's,
Yeah,
you say something and then it's, well, suck it up.
yeah, yeah.
That's, well, fine. I'm just going to stop saying shit.
Right. And it was always and you felt that like you were always the one that had to make compromises.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was always the one bending, not over though.
I am not gonna take that one.
I appreciate you not taking that one.
That's what she said.
You know what? But ultimately, and this will start leading us into our closing arguments, I'm grateful for where I am right now. I'm grateful for what the universe is providing. I'm grateful for whoever is out there listening to our message. I'm grateful for whoever is hearing this message. And if we can help one person, that is what I'm grateful for.
And truthfully, I agree with you, man. Like I actually like this episode probably the most out of any of them that we've done. Dude, we went from Stranger Things,
Stranger Things was the best.
it was, to
Sorry.
Aliens,
Yes.
to Wormholes,
And
to Light
serendipity.
Years, to
Yeah.
Serendipity, to Synchronicity, to words of affirmation and how important it is to make sure that you cultivate a foundation to a relationship and that it's born on mutual respect and appreciation for one another. Dude, you can't
No.
get more enlightened than this
You can't
episode.
get any. This is like one of the most enlightened episodes so far.
Yeah, we got to keep this vibe going.
Well, this vibe is awesome. You know what? Forget the politics. I might throw in a political jab every now and then, but
Yeah.
I want to keep it light from now on.
And I think also just, you know, we'll every once in a while maybe we'll talk about something that is, you know, like a big thing at the moment and that we know is weighing heavily on people, but I think we're going to keep it in the positive lane and try to digest it in a way that we encourage people to find the positivity and the ability to collaborate and build community.
Now, that's the main goal. But I personally just want to help one person. I don't care, just one person. If I can help them, if I can get you through a tough time, that's all I care about.
Yeah, and just I think it's just encouraging people to even begin to be introspective and want to understand what makes them tick because then they'll start thinking or realizing what makes other people tick And the world stops feeling so erratic and out of control. And you feel like, wait a second, if I am willing to figure out what makes me go and become a little healthier, maybe my interactions with people will become a little healthier and maybe things stop feeling so out of control. And it's empowering. It really is. Yeah. It's enlightening.
Enlightening. Well, like I said, 11:20 or 11:59 on New Year's Eve.
Hmm.
I'm leaving 2025 in the past, and we're gonna keep on going with 2026, and hopefully
It's going to be exciting.
the year of the snake is over with. And if you guys don't know what the year of the snake is, I challenge you to look that up.
Sounds like the name of a dirty film. The year the
It's,
snake is over
it's
with.
not. It's about karmic cycles. It ends on, I believe it's February 12th is the end of the cycle.
Okay. And
So
is this a Chinese thing?
Chinese calendar, yep.
Great. Great, Sean. Now you bring the Chinese into this. They're our mortal enemies.
Not my mortal enemies. I love them.
I'm just messing. No, man. Hey, listen, we should have an appreciation for them culturally, right? They've been around forever.
That's it.
They got a lot of enlightened perspectives, getting
They
away from all
do.
the politics, economics, all that
Very
crazy stuff.
wise. But I'm looking forward to our New Year's Eve finale where we list out all the negatives and positives that we had over the course of the year. We're just going to air our grievances and air our positives out all for the whole 2025 season.
I like it. I like it. And I think that we should probably begin working on those outlines, soon.
What do you mean? It's only like 3 weeks.
Yeah, but that one I think deserves enough attention to detail that we don't get off on our crazy tangents. Like I think that would be a really good one to just be very deliberate and intentional about.
Yeah, we should probably make a decent outline on that one. I do agree.
And actually maybe try to adhere to it.
I'm not worried about adherence.
Nah.
It's more like a guideline,
Yeah. Yeah. A very rough guideline.
timeline, timeline of events of how the year went from start to. You know what? To be honest with you, this year, I I think I might have said this in a past episode. I feel like from January to July and from July to now has been two completely separate, different years.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've lived two entirely different years this year.
I kind of feel the same way, not I have different months that, but the same type of thing, going from the beginning of the year feeling like totally, what is my life going to look like? Am I going to be able to work? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I'm back to living a life and like, I'm okay. So yeah, and I know for
Well,
you, similar.
it's very similar.
Yeah.
Mine took a little bit less time to get through, I think, but
Hey man, trauma's trauma,
trauma's
it's
trauma.
not about the length of it or, trauma's trauma. Yeah. I wouldn't
That's what I
minimize
told her. It's
anybody's
not about
suffering.
the length of it.
It's about the motion in the ocean.
Hmm. Kinetic energy,
Exactly. Wormholes.
wormholes.
So what do you think? You think wrap it up there?
I think we should wrap it up there. I appreciate everybody listening to us. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and Corey will post some links. Please check out the links.
Yeah. Hey, I think you said it best. I got nothing to add to that.
All right, sounds good. You guys have a great night, and we look forward to doing this again next week.
That's what she said.
Yep.
All right. Be good, bro.
Peace.